the packet, which is a great thing. It's a great frame of reference, the packet, but you don't want to have to sift through it and then go to the window, have two steps, or you just have one.
Let's talk some of the sports that are going on right now, and we'll talk first about the Bucks winning and rather remarkably covering as well, as they got all the end of the game points against the Raptors. What did that late swing do at the windows in terms of having an impact as to whether the house won or lost on the night?
Oh, it wasn't very good at all. Just recalling the sequence of events, which was incredible, is not very appealing. It was a big swing, a five-figure swing. The fact that the Bucks not only covered the game, but winning, of course, because we had money line liability along with the point spread. So it was a terrible result and sort of unexpected going into the fourth quarter. The Raptors with the fairly commanding lead as far as the point spread was concerned. And
Kawhi Leonard, of all people, goes basically silent in the fourth quarter. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. How about an update on the series price and the line on Game 2?
Yeah, series price now, Bucks are minus 475, and Game 2, the Bucks are 6.5-point favorites, and the total is 216. So about the same with the point spread as Game 1 there.
Not many people thought we'd see the Warriors open up as an 8-point favorite, go down to 7, and there's actually, I'm guessing you have money on Portland. Obviously, a lot of that is with Durant being out. But tell us about Game 2 in Golden State, Portland.
Yeah, this is interesting. Not quite as lopsided as far as ticket count here, but Game 2 right now is actually seeing 2 times more tickets come in on Golden State last time I checked. And it is still that way. But there's right now there is 2 times more cash on Portland. So little pros versus Joes feel to it right now, especially with the line coming down. We also have some money line liability on Portland as well. And Portland being one of our bigger liabilities as far as futures go to win the NBA championship. So in a sense, it's a tough call tonight. Kind of rooting for. It's tough to know who to root for here in this scenario.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a flip from Game 1 because in Game 1, from what I could determine, there was more sharp money on Golden State than Portland.
Yeah, it was the opposite. The public appeared to be on Portland in Game 1 and really dismissing Golden State, and now it's somewhat shifting, even though it's not showing in the line move.
All right, the NHL, we have already lamented the poor officiating in the NHL that yet again worked out in San Jose's favor. The Sharks getting the money on the road at St. Louis last night. How did that game work out from a betting standpoint, and particularly with the game again going over? It has been a very high-scoring series.
Yeah, it was starting to get used to the bad officiating. It's seeing it in every series here. It's almost become numb to it at this point and expect a bad call. But Sharks winning was not a very good result for us as far as the money line. But the game flying over the total was our biggest need last night, and that was our best result. So all in all, we did well with the game. And as far as, Game 4 line, St. Louis is $1.40 and 5.5 over 15. And the adjusted series price, San Jose is now minus 220. So we're seeing great two-way action as far as the series, a little more than I expected as far as the volume.
In tonight's NHL game, the Bruins look to close it out. Dave talked earlier about Game 4s when a team's up 3-0. There's a little less volume. Are you finding that true?
Yeah, there's a few answers to that question about volume and Game 4s when teams are going for a sweep. Usually, I think it's just bettors feel it's a foregone conclusion who the winner will be, and the series is taking on a less competitive nature, certainly reflected in the series price, and bettors are less willing to maybe invest in that, in the game or the series price. But right now, the ticket count is fairly even, but there's certainly more money on Carolina, hence the line moved down about $1.15 on Boston.
We head behind the counter on tonight's Major League Baseball, and we talked about this game already in the 4-at-4, but let's find out what the betting action is doing on the Cubs and Reds, a potentially good pitchers duel here.
Yeah, this has a chance to be. A lot of people haven't heard of Luis Castillo, but he's been lights out this far, and Quintana certainly having a bounce-back year compared to what, when he first got there in that trade, White Sox. But right now it's ticket count's about 2-1 on the Cubs, and about 2.5 to 1 as far as cash on Chicago. So it looks like we'll need the Reds here, come 340.
We also talked about the Cardinals and Braves in the 4x4. Tell us what's happening behind the counter.
Right now, ticket count's relatively even. there's a few more dollars on the Braves right now, so bettors are back in Atlanta.
And the Pirates and Padres wrap up the National League, and it looks like the market's having trouble betting on the Pirates. That awful run differential that they have, I think, has people believing they're very misleading. A couple games over 500, and from what I can gather, it looks like San Diego might be getting more money tonight as well. Is that the case?
Not really. With us here, Pirates are a weird team, aren't they? When they look good, they look real good, and when they look bad, they look like they did yesterday. They just get blown away. In that Arizona series, the two games they lost, they got blown out, and then the game they won, it obviously was a wire-to-wire win. But right now, the ticket count's fairly even, but about 80% of the cash is coming in on Williams and the Pirates. Wow.
Maybe something in that Pennsylvania water with Pittsburgh looking inconsistent like the 76ers.
Yeah.
We were on, Dave and I were on a podcast early this morning, and we talked about 300 favorites, and that's what Bauer is against the Orioles, 300 plus. How much less volume, or is it not affected when you have these huge 280, 300 favorites?
A lot of times, as far as straight betting, there's a less volume, or even bettors tend to gravitate to the underdog. There's very low volume in this game. Ticket count's about 2-1 Cleveland, but there's some parlay liability with Cleveland, so that's where most of the money goes in these games. People just hook it up with something else.
The White Sox, when Dylan Covey starts going back to his first appearance with them a few years ago, they're 9-26. He's not very well regarded by the bettors, with good reason. Marcus Stroman's been cold lately as well for the Blue Jays. What's happening there?
Yeah, I don't think bettors don't know what to make of this game. There's a few more tickets written on the Blue Jays. Surprisingly, this is our biggest handle in baseball tonight of the games remaining. Yeah, so sometimes you never know what to expect as far as bettors go and where their money will gravitate to. But right now, ticket count, slightly more tickets written on Toronto. And the cash is about even right now. With White Sox, the home dog, it's about even.
The nightcap in the AL has the Twins and Mariners. We have a pair of pitchers with 5+ ERAs. Are we going to see a lot of runs scored as far as what the public's concerned?
Yeah, bettors feel that's the case. As almost every bet we've taken, a straight bet, is on the over, and parlay, about 96% of parlay bets are on the over in this game. So bettors are looking towards the over. And as far as the game itself, the side, ticket counts are relatively even. But this is surprising. Most of the money is coming in on Seattle thus far. Nobody's back in the Twins, even though they're playing as well as anybody right now.
Tiger Woods way back after one round. Well, so is everybody else for that matter. As Brooks Koepka, just unbelievable at the PGA. Sets a course record at Bethpage Black. This is going to be a tough adjustment in terms of being able to set a number where you'll be able to get some action, because, I mean, what do you make Koepka at this point? Is he going to be less than even money, I would think?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Richie Z's our golf guy here, and he is working hard right now to come up with the right number with Brooks Koepka, and he's as good as it gets when it comes to that. And Brooks Koepka is our biggest liability, along with Tiger Woods, so that it wasn't a great start in that regard. But that course, Bethpage, anything can happen.
Oh, sure.
You can look great that one day, and then be a +8 the next. So, but he is a defending champ, and this guy Koepka appears to from his European playing over there, handles lousy weather very well. But expect a lot of big names to be above or at par or above come the final round.
We have a Showtime heavyweight championship fight coming up Saturday, and those always get betting action because it's still the heavyweight division in boxing, and especially, it'd be huge if it was a more competitively priced. But I can see where Wilder and Brazil might get some action. Looks like CG, last I checked, -800 on Wilder. That might be the best price around on him. So, people are still going to have to lay big bucks, but if they want to do it on Wilder, looks like CG's the spot to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we're right there with anybody, or if not lower, as far as a competitive number there with Wilder, -800.
I do have a question. I'm not a huge boxing fan, but I believe the over-under was 9.5. That seems awfully high for me for Wilder, who's 40-0-1 with 39 KOs, and Brazil, who's 20-1 with 18 KOs. With these guys who have KOs almost every fight, 9.5 does seem high to me.
Yeah, and it's reflected in the betting thus far. This is the liabilities are very close as far as what we're looking at here. The fight itself, taking the underdog, Brazil, is money line liability with him. And as far as the under, so basically some sort of knockout, TKO, whatever. Right now, it's about 98% of the cash is on the under. So 9.5 under 320 right now we sit.
Pari-mutuel action on Saturday. The Preakness, second leg of the Triple Crown. There will be no Triple Crown winner this year. This looks like a fun betting race to me. I know it's not going to do nearly the handle that the Derby did for obvious reasons, especially with no possibility of a Triple Crown winner. But it still should be fun. And, head down to the Cosmo or one of the other CG locations if you want to watch the race with a lot of fans and make it really exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll have a couple of matchups up for the Preakness. But, of course, Country House being pulled from the race certainly doesn't affect the handle here as we have no potential Triple Crown. So that, that certainly is a letdown there. But, definitely Cosmo. We have 350 reservable seats. So, make sure you do that. Reserve a seat so you can watch the Preakness along with all the NBA and NHL playoffs. PGA Championship. I think it's going to be a great tournament there. I mean, Bethpage Black has a way of finding a way of becoming very competitive on the final day, even though it may not seem like that now. And so make sure you definitely got to download the app and sign up for an account at one of our CG sports books so you can start betting like a pro. You got to be prepared.
There you go. Awesome stuff as always, Will. We appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. Talk to you soon.
Well, Bernanke, you can follow him on Twitter at the Moneyline Guy. Cosmo sounds like a perfect spot to spend Saturday.
Yeah, put your butt in that seat early Saturday. Start with golf. Then you go to the race. Then you go to the fight and have baseball in between. You got a playoff game.
Great places to eat in the Cosmo as well. CG locations all over town are terrific, but the Cosmo really is a blast. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our Joe's Angle of the Day. American League night game action. You have to preview that as well.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
When it comes to dependability in car batteries, no one beats Interstate Batteries. Interstate Batteries has been providing outrageously dependable starting power for over 65 years. With over 200,000 dealers nationwide, there's one near you. Just click on interstatebatteries.com.
Frank Harnisher from the Vegas Golden Knights Insider Show. Join me Saturday from noon to 3 for Vegas Sports and Hockey Sidewalk Sale on Tropical in Centennial Center next to Petco. Meet Marc-Andre Fleury, local celebrities, and sign up to win great prizes. That's Saturday, noon to 3 at Vegas Sports and Hockey.
If you've got a piece of jewelry that needs repair, what do? Go see Cliff Miller at MJ Christensen, and they can do the repairs.
Absolutely. Since 1939, where does Las Vegas go to have their treasures repaired and maintained? MJ Christensen Diamonds. We take care of everything. I love that because you come to me with a problem and you leave problem solved.
MJ Christensen, something special for the love of your life. Located at Boca Park. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
Please join us on Friday, June 14th, as the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame inducts the class of 2019. The honorees include Steve Karp, Hunky Cooper, Manny Guerra, Mike Martin, Steve Stallworth, and the Vegas Golden Knights. Proceeds from the event benefit Southern Nevada youth programs designed to promote leadership, values, and character through sports. Join us on Friday, June 14th at the Orleans Arena. For ticket and information, visit snshf.com.
Yes, air conditioning and plumbing, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and available anytime your plumbing won't go with the flow. Schedule your air conditioning or plumbing checkup at 888-4937, 888-4937, or go to theyesmancan.com.
License number 71246 and 71233.
Yeah, so much rhythm. Babysitting your kids while they play the jazziest jazz I've ever heard jazzed is totally fine. But what's actually frustrating is the check you're handing me and the days it will take to clear. Next time, just send me money with Zelle.
Night out better. Pay your sitter easily with Zelle. Look for Zelle in your banking app.
Must have a bank account in the U.S. to use Zelle. Zelle is an early warning services trademark.
Dave Cokin with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. So give me a rundown on maybe a typical treatment at LPT.
Sure, Dave. On an initial consult, we'll sit down with the patient for at least 10 or 15 minutes, get a history of their injury or their condition. Then we'll move into an assessment where we put our hands on the patient, take them through a few special tests to identify what the pain source is and what the actual injury is. Then we'll use some modalities like heat and electric stimulation to